And call out any questions you like, come off mute. You don't have to put things in the chat or anything. We're a small group, so it's nice that you can just, you know, talk. Okay, I'm just gonna share. Okay, so the TM6, I want to put something on to cook, and then I'm going to talk about the different features because some things take a while. So one of the features of the TM6 is the sugar mode. Now, does that appeal to anybody? It's for the people that like sweets, toffee and honeycomb. What else? We do lollipops, all of that sort of thing. So it's a bit of a chefy skill, and it's using the high heat function. So I'm just going to click start. So can you see my screen okay there? Yep. Yes. Great. So I'm going to, as I get in, I'll show you what I'm doing as well. I know, so Tina, you've obviously got you've got a Thermomix. Which one do you have?
I don't know whether
she's on mute. That's okay. I'll just keep going. So I love one of the best features about the TM6 is the screen size. I love it. It's fantastic. Now, I don't have white sugar, but you know you can make that. 2 seconds on speed 9 to make your white sugar. Now, with sugar stage, the ingredients need to be pretty accurate. Otherwise, the Thermomix has got a safety feature that says, hey, you're over the measurements, you're not accurate. Now, I am over a little bit, and that's okay too. 80 grams of water. This is so simple. Now, if you try to make this traditionally, which I did, you have to be super accurate with your temperatures and stand there and stir completely. So 20 grams of honey or golden syrup. So this will appeal to people in restaurants as well, because this is a time-saving function. Okay. I love how, so Mon, have you got the 30, now I keep forgetting, have you got the 30?
I'm for 31.
Yeah, so this is massively different to the 31, and I've got the 31 in the background too. So lid on. So for someone like with glasses for me, like me, and measuring cup, and then just turn it on. So each step, it's just prompting you. That doesn't mean that you can't manipulate the Thermomix yourself and use it on manual mode. So that's just going to stir everything and mix it all up, and it's intuitive cooking. So what that means is that it's going to decide how fast it needs to stir, what heat it needs to go to. It's going to weigh those ingredients and decide what it needs to do. So it tells you everything there. Now, while that's doing that, I can also click on this. Actually, I'll show you this first. I'll get my stylus. I can also have a look at other functions too. So Tina, if you are listening today, and you do decide, yes, the TM6 is for me, could you do me a favour? I know you're going to buy through your consultant, that's perfectly fine. Can you feed that back to me so that, because when we do these things, my branch manager always wants to know what my results are. So if you could let me know at the end what you're thinking, that'd be awesome. So of those 3 dots up here, and I'll just click on 3 dots up here, we've got recipe detail. And then you can have a look at what's happening in the recipe and scroll up and see what's coming up next, so you can get it all ready. So I will need my bicarb, and I'll get that in a moment because I know how long this takes to cook. You do need to have everything ready when you're doing sugar mode, and it is super, super hot. So it is really great to do that. Okay, over on this one. So that's one of the new modes of the Thermomix. when we slide across here, you can see all of these other modes here. So we've got things like slow cooker. So it cooks for 8 hours on slow cook mode, which is brilliant. So you can set and forget for 8 hours. You've probably got a slow cooker in your kitchen. So you have to decide, you know, which one you like better. It does sous vide. That's another chefing mode. Does everyone know what sous vide is? Yep, give me a nod. Yep, we're good. So I was talking to my brother yesterday. He's a chef, and just for that mode alone, he's looking at a Thermomix, which is a new TM6 one, which is great. So, sous vide means it's at accurate heating, and you can use that to choose your 1 degree temperatures as well. And you've got fermentation mode. Now the TM6 fermentation mode is all about, it means that you can do pot set yogurt. With the other Thermomixes, you can do yogurt in your machine, no problem. But the difference is pot set. And pot set is when you have your varoma on the top and you're cooking in your glasses or whatever you're doing. I'm just going to spotlight myself because I find it hard to know what I'm doing when I can't see myself. That's better. Okay. All right, beautiful. And if any of the consultants think of something else that I'm missing, please jump in. So that while that's cooking away, I'm going to come over to this one. And one of the other features is the weekly planner. So weekly planner, to find that, there's a drop-down list here. Click on the 3 dot lines here and click on My Week. And we're going to go on to the seared steak rocket salad. So I want to show you all the high heat functions first. So we click Start. Now we've got 1 gram increment scales in this one, as opposed to what you have in your Thermomix. So 20 grams of olive oil. And 50 grams of onions, halved or sliced. Now with this one, you could saute those, and I've got lots of light coming in here, so I might get those lines turned down. 50 grams of onions, and I've just put them in wedges. If you go over, it doesn't matter. Insert the lid, and that's just going to saute. I'm just going to bring up a bit closer. Okay, so can you see, I'm on my other phone now, if you just spotlight that. Okay, so when you, this is okay, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so when you've got your big screen, it's still the same time, temperature and speed, and the difference is that the Thermomix goes up to 160 degrees. You can see how quickly that is heating as well. Look at it rise really, really fast. So that's another great feature of the TM6 too. And it marks where you need to turn it, and you just turn it on there. While it's doing that, I can also bookmark that, and then I can go and have a look at other things on the internet. But whilst that's doing that, we've got 1 minute to go. I'm going to head over to Susie's house. And Susie, I know she wants to do a pulled pork recipe. So if you just pop that on, while you're doing that, I'm going to set up this so it's not so wobbly. And
no worries. Thanks, Sam.
And then you can see better.
Okay. Hi. I'll just quickly, I can't remember what it's called, Hong Shao Ru. It's a braised pork belly. I've been craving a banh mi Vietnamese roll, so I've got some baguettes which I've already made this morning, and they're just proving now. And now I'm going in to make this beautiful Asian-inspired pork belly, which I'll put on my banh mi later as well. So this is really delicious, quick, one of those recipes that you can just put everything in and forget about it. So I love that. So if you're busy of a night time, it says now to put in a 3 centimetre piece of ginger, but I've already minced all my ginger up because I find it goes off, so I keep mine in the freezer. So I'm skipping that part. I've got some pork belly, which will just go in as chunks. So there's sort of, if you can see that, about 4 or 5 centimetre chunks. A little bit over, that's okay. Some rock sugar, pop that in. Bit of soy sauce, we need light soy and dark soy. 25 of the light, and I think it's 5 of the dark, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And I am loving these little stylus pens, thanks. I earned last month, which I love. I've been giving them to my new customers. And some Chinese shooks wine, or whatever it's called. Somebody else probably could give me the right pronunciation of that. About 60 grams of that one. So it's really, that's all that goes in this. I also just chuck in a little bit of lemongrass because I love that lemongrassy flavour. I have made this a few times now. So I'll also put in, I've just bashed up some lemongrass from my garden. Tiny bit of water just to make the sauce go a bit further. And that is all I need to do. Now I can go and carry on about my business if I need to. And that's cooking at 100 degrees for 45 minutes. So I love that I can just do that and walk away, which you must all be loving about your thermos anyway. But this is just such a nice addition to be able to make a beautiful pork belly. I would never have made that before. So now it's just going to do its thing for 45 minutes and we'll go back to Sam.
Thanks, Suze. I'm just going to spotlight myself again. Thank you. That gave me time to hook up my phone so you don't get all dizzy, and close my curtains a little bit as well. So these are still cooking. I'm really mindful of the sugar station. Once that, I've got 15 minutes left on that, so that's great. And then I need to stir and make my honeycomb. So whilst this is cooking here, just turn that off. Go on to the next step. So that's just frying, which you can do in your oven machines as well, but you can't do it at the same heat. So 1 sprig of rosemary, and in here I've just got rosemary and some beef. Now I'm just doing fillet beef today. Now you want to make sure that that's evenly coated into your bowl. You can make this, you know, more volumized if you want. Rump steak, which I've got fillet steak as well, so it doesn't matter. Ensure that it's evenly heated and put the splash guard on. So this is a new feature of the TM6 only. And the splash guard is this little baby. So that allows lots of breathing holes up the top when you're frying, and it has this splash guard here so that it doesn't, you know, spit out oil at you. So that goes on top. Click done. You can use this instead of the basket on top. You can use this for the other machines as well. And just click start. So you can see on my screen here, just turn it on. It's already set the timer, it's set the temperature, and now it's going to fry that steak. And whilst it's doing that, you can get out all of your other ingredients if you want to. So you can, I've already got that ready. All right, so whilst that's on high heat, it's going to increase really fast, and you'll see down here the timer. So if you're on I might just put my other screen on. So when I spotlight my videos, does that spotlight it for you as well?
Yes.
Okay, that's better then. All right, so can you hear that sound? Can you hear the frying?
Just
hear it.
Mm.
Any better?
Yep. Oh. Just, Sam.
Just, okay. What I wanted you to hear is that frying that's happening in this bowl and the steam that's coming out of it as well. So you can see you'll be able to see the steam coming out. Can you see that there?
Yep.
So this is a game changer in the Thermomix world, because something that a lot of us have not liked is the fact that it doesn't brown things properly. you know, even though I think the flavour is amazing, a lot of people want that extra browning. So having that extra heat going up to 160, you can see we're at maximum heat already, it achieves that for us. So it's brilliant. So yeah, you can do this on the stove top as well, but how great is it hands-free? Whilst that's doing that, you can bookmark it, and then you can go in and have a look at the other features, but I'm not sure, I don't think I can go, oh yes I can, there we go. There's a nice screens show. These are your intuitive mode. So you've got blend. Now that blend intuitive mode means it's going to increase the speed by itself. You just turn it one click on. I talked about the slow cook already, talked about sous vide, talked about fermentation. Rice cooker is another intuitive mode as well. It'll weigh the ingredients in water and decide how long it needs to cook for. You've also got a pre-clean and a kettle. Again, kettle is used for things like pasta, boiling water for nice cups of tea, any type of boiling that you need, and you can decide, just like a kettle, you put the water in, it'll weigh it, and it'll decide how long it needs to go, and how long it needs to boil for until it gets to temperature. Whereas with the other Thermomixes, you need to set the timer for that. So these features are just making life that much easier. And then over here, we have thicken. We also have a lot of white space. Now the white space means that this is great, actually. We're going to have lots of screens, and it's going to improve as they develop new functions. And this white space means that they're going to add more features. You are also going to have video tutorials on your TM6 as well available. So that's a fantastic thing. This is the only model that will be continually improved on. Does that make sense at all? What I'm saying is, so it can continually add on, whereas we're a little bit restricted with the other models. The reason it can be added on like this is that it has a 16 gigabyte memory. So it's a bit like a smartphone. It's a quad 4 processor, like a smartphone. And the other thing that I love about this is we swipe this side and we open up the world of the internet. Instead of with the TM5, you need to program your cook key, and if you've got a TM31, you need to follow a recipe that you've printed off or you've got in your cookbook. The TM6 has got this inbuilt screen where you can search to your heart's content. It's a global search library. You do pay a $49 fee per year. You've got a 7-month subscription with your purchase, and that is a 6-month free subscription plus your 30-day free trial. So that's how I've got to 7 months. And you can search whatever you like. So you can search an ingredient, a style of recipe, a group of ingredients. And I just want to show you this steaming as well, going up the top here. Now, being fillet steak, for breakfast, mind you, why not? Oh, I've lost my clip. There we go. Let's get that. I don't want to make you too dizzy. Sorry about all the movement. There we go. Being fillet steak, it shouldn't take that long to fry. So if you wanted to exit that early, you could just push the dial and interrupt that program as well. So give me some ingredients that you might want to search, and let's see what comes up, and I'll show you something. Anyone got an ingredient they want to search? Or I just choose?
You choose.
Okay, all right. So in the country, we have a lot of lamb, don't we? So I'm going to choose lamb. We're in farming country here. Lamb. Oh, I've put arm. Oh, I'll have to do that in a minute. It stopped that part. There we go. As you can see, if you're in something, it'll come back, instant stopping. Now, what's happening inside there is that, I'm just going to switch my spotlight video as well. What's happening inside there is this is the only model where the blade stops. So when you're frying in there and you've got a blade on, other models would just have to keep spinning. The gentle stir is in the 31, you'd have the little wooden spoon one, so that would be gentle stir. So you can't really do the frying to the same extent in that. With the TM5, the only function that has that intermittent stirring is automatic yogurt. So with the TM6, depending on what function, you have intermittent stirring with lots of them. And that means that the blade stops moving so that you can fry on the bottom. So it's doing a little bit of movement. So it's a little bit of gentle stirring. It stops, it allows it to fry, and then moves again, allows it to fry again. So we've got lots and lots of colour in here. I'm going to show you this as well. And that's like that's a one person feed in there. My poor kids are not going to be happy with mum. But you know, so I just want to show you now the brown, what we've got in here. So can you see how brown that is? Now you don't get that with any other Thermomix. Now you also see that we've got catching on the bottom of the bowl, all that colour, just like you do with a saucepan. And when you put something like wine or vinegar or whatever else you're putting into your dressing, that's going to lift all that off. So so that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. So we're going to transfer the beef and onions to a bowl with a rocket salad, discarding rosemary and retaining meat juices in the bowl. Well, bad luck, Sam, because the rosemary's just all through it. I'm not going to be able to do that, so I'll just pop it into a bowl. Plate will do. And just watch that other. Now we want to retain the meat juices in here because that's part of your dressing. And I'm conscious of that other Thermomix because you got to move fast when that's on. So now prior to having two TM6s, I had a TM5. TM31. I've had multiple TM5s, TM31, and I had a TM6. I love the TM6 so much, I sold my TM5 and I bought another TM6. The reason I love it is because of that. So my favourite features in here, so I'll just retain that. We'll get onto the dressing. Walnut halves. So the reason I love it so much is because of the keypad. For me, that's a huge thing because I would always have to program my TM5 cook key and then search for the recipe I want. Or if I had my TM31, I'd have to search the recipe. I didn't have them at a touch of a button, and I do with this one. So I love that feature. So walnuts are going in here. Now, you know, Jane and Ron, you are cooks. And Tina, I don't know you very well at all. So, you know, you are creative and you know how to cook. So I guess for you, it's the, you know, you could do so much. Isn't it great working for home? No, where's my lemon juice gone? I don't have lime juice, so I'm going to do lemon. Oh, and I've got way over. But that's all right. What other juice would you... Orange juice is really nice with this combination as well. Bit of honey. Do you have citrus trees?
No, Jane does.
Well, Jane, I've never had a parcel from you. What's going on? You must eat it all. A bit of fine salt.
Yeah.
So I've just made, I've made this salt the other day. So if you want, you're welcome to join my Facebook group if you're not already in there. I do have a page, but in my group, it's, that's where all the content is really. The page is for advertising. And you're welcome to join my group if you're any of my team's customers. And insert the lid. I love that. Now you can be faster. I'm trying to go a bit slower so that you can see. And it's already set the timer to 3 minutes, 3 seconds. I'll just spotlight that. 3 seconds and speed 5. So you can see here, and you can see it's marked down here. So when you turn it, you just need to flick your wrist really. It'll capture that.
Part of the system.
Yeah.
And then call the salad dressing done. So what a nice, easy thing. So nice, quick recipe to do. Now I'm going to get that out in a minute. Serve all that. So what that has done in there is that's lifted off. I'm just going to put the dressing.
Take yourself off spotlight.
Okay. Oh, thanks, Suze. Need an extra pair of hands over here. What that's done is it's lifted some of the colour that's formed in the bottom from the meat juices, and that's beautiful. So I'm just going to pop this aside, get something else on and show you another function. 2 thermoses, 3 bowls. How lucky am I, hey? So lucky. Love it. I'll have all the washing up to do after. All right, so quick finish. I'm going to show you that in a moment. Get on to something else. Have you got questions about those 2 features so far?
Nothing yet. I just know that I need a second bowl desperately.
Yep. You can desperately. Yep. That's. Would you sell your 31?
5. I sold my 5.
Oh, Tina said that. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You sold your 5. Okay, so start cooking. I'm going to just show you the function, and that's it. So insert the butterfly. So this is the one I'm doing now is the thicken mode. So it's really another 1 step. It's just made everything a bit simple. I don't have Marsala wine. Now I'm making Zaglioni. Can I use Drambuie? Where are my cooks out there? You think I could use Drambuie? It's a bit different, isn't it?
Instead of what?
Well, because I don't have Marsala wine. Could I use, or do I need to drink port? Before I go on, I'm going to do the honey.
Yeah, Drambuie is a sticky liqueur.
Yeah.
So you can cook with it for sure, but I've forgotten what you're making there, Sam. Sorry.
Okay.
I think a port.
Yeah, port. Okay. I'm just going to spotlight me.
How do you have no wine? What's going on?
It's Marsala wine. What? Because I drink it.
Oh, masala. It's asking for masala.
Yeah, because I'm doing
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to get onto this. So now we've got all the honeycomb in there, and actually I should just pin this one.
Definitely use port, not Drambuie then. Port is much closer to that flavour than Drambuie.
All right. Can you see in there? And can you do me a favour? Oh no, I'm good. I think I'm good. Okay, all right. I've got to work really fast here, and I'm trying to make it so that you can see everything. So we're going to add our bicarb, and it's just 1 tablespoon that we want. When it says to add 2, don't do it. All right, so I'm just going to stir that really quickly, and you're going to see that fluff up. Now I left it sitting there a little bit, so can you see that what's going on in there or not?
Yeah.
Oh, hopefully you've got the right video. I'm going to get that out. You cannot do this with any other Thermomix. You can do it on the stovetop. You're going to have a hard time if you don't have a thermometer. So you can stir it. My tips when you're making honeycomb, you can stir it when it's in the pan, like in the pan that you're doing. It is really super hot. You will get a blister if you touch that bowl. So try not to, I've done it and I've got a blister, so don't do that if you can avoid it. And you want to try and keep your rim pretty clean as well. So this is great if you're doing cakes. It's just for fun, really. And you can see how quickly it sets. Now, ordinarily you'd freak out and go, bloody hell, I've cooked everything in the bowl and now how the hell am I going to clean that? I'm going to show you another function. My problem will be that I've got all this mess up here. You need to make sure you can clean the lid. So really, really dirty and it's set like a rock. What we want to do here is clean it. 1,000 grams of water. I'm just going to use the markings inside the bowl to do that. So you've got your markings in the outside of the bowl and the inside that show you where 1 litre is, 2 litres and 2.2. So this is obviously larger capacity than the TM31 as well. Lid on. And I'm going to have to hold that down so the lid closes because I've got a mess in there. And that's going to clean it. So while that cleans it, I'll do something else. So you think that masala won't be any good? Sorry, I don't have masala. So which screen have I got pinned now? That's going to set. Can you see my big screen? Yeah.
Yep.
That's all going to set in there. So that's another set on my bench as well. Look. I'll have to get that on. That there. So the other recipe I was going to do is the vegan pineapple tart. My sister's vegan and I was going to make a few tricks and try with that. So I'm going to stick to the function and then I'll make the rest of the tart after. So I'm going to skip down through here to do just the thicken mode and get that on.
Yeah.
So
It cleans itself.
I'll show you what that looks like in my bowl.
It cleans itself.
That's how clean it got it. Now, what I'll do now is, because I didn't get up to the top of the bowl here, I'm just going to use that vinegary water and rinse it. But how good is that? It's pretty clean. I'll just show you.
Yeah.
Look how clean that is. Not bad. I'll clean that after. Back over to this one. There we go. So 28 grams of coconut cream. Just got that in here. So what are your thoughts around, have you got other, so Tina, you said you needed an extra bowl. I'm sorry to say, honey, but that's not going to happen till, they're not coming out until the middle of next year. They've had a bit of a delay on on the processing, but your consultant may have earned a second bowl and might be willing to sell it. I know some of my girls have earned 3 extra bowls. Or what you could do is become a consultant. So any reserved Thermomix bowls that are left are saved for the consultants. Sorry, because when you come on as a
I am a consultant.
pardon?
I am a consultant.
You are a consultant?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
did.
Blade.
Yeah. Yeah. But I didn't know who I was talking to because I thought Tina said she needed one. So, Sam, you can earn a second bowl within your 60 days by selling 6. You've got to sell 6.
I did read that, yeah.
Okay, so that's how you earn it. Corn flour. How are we going with the... Obviously, the Thermomix does a lot more things. Now, do you notice, I'm not sure, I'll show you a bit closer, when a recipe is in ounces or grams, the TM6 and the TM5 automatically change over. You don't need to do it or do any conversions or anything like that. Coconut sugar, oh, I'm really not prepared with all of my ingredients, but I'm just, can I get that quickly? Hang on. Yes, I can. Don't want you to see all my messy kitchen. Not that messy. Pretty messy. 2 tablespoons or 1. Coconut sugar, if you add that to anything, it'll give you a really nice caramel flavour in your ingredients. Lime juice, well, same thing. I don't have lime, I'm going to do lemon. Lime's a bit sweeter, it's nicer, so this will be, that's why I put in the 2 tablespoons. And this is 2 teaspoons. I'll just do 1. Lid on, and you just turn it on. So I'll just show you. And spot like that. So we're on thicken mode. So we've already got, it's turned to Fahrenheit and it's turned to ounces. If I just go back and show you.
So
it just changes its unit measures and also the temperatures as well. So just turn it on. And that's it. So that's just basically one step. Chuck it all in, turn it on to cook, and away you go. So I was showing you before the cookadoo. So with the cookadoo, you can search directly on your screen, or you can, search on your phone. So if we say coconut, for instance, and then all your recipes come up. Now with the TM5, you have a single row of recipes. With the TM6, that's how big the screen is, you have triple row. So you have, it's beautiful. It's just like a little mini iPad. Absolute perfect. And when you think about the price of the TM5 compared to the TM6, it's well worth it. Like, it's really not that much difference. So I've got, we were talking about lamb as well. So we've got, I could do coconut and lamb if I wanted to, or whatever it was. We've got one here. Now, showing you that as well with the filters.
Evan, it's ready.
Okay, I'm too fast for the thing. So you can choose your filter categories. You can choose your ingredients if you've got to search for particular ones as well. If you have any dietary requirements, if you're cooking, if you want things quickly, slowly. I mean, the people that are on, I think you all like cooking anyway, so I don't think time's too much of an issue, is it? And then you've got your versions, and down here you've got your language. Now, by selecting English and deselecting Australia, that opens up a whole lot more recipes down here. And that's how you open up your global library. So if I wanted to add something to my playlist, click on the 3 dots, I can add it to my shopping list, cook it today, or bookmark it.
He's gonna watch what? The next hand. She used to live around the corner. Didn't you went to the house one day?
Okay, so that's just instantly syncing to my daily planner as well. So I'll just click on mine and show you what that looks like. Go into my week. And then everything that I have on my week is here that I've listed. If I go up here to this little symbol up here, I can have a look at what I've done previously, and I can go back through what I've done previously. So again, do you see that just changed gears? So that's what the intuitive cooking does. It knows. So instead of you coming back to change speeds, change temperatures, it will do it for you. Basically, you just walk away. So it's just saving you extra time. So I can go back as far as I wanted, and if I wanted to cook something again, I could click on it, or add it to the shopping list, or I can have a look at the recipe. Done it again. Or I can move it to another day, or I can remove it. So if I want to look at it, okay, then it'll open it up, and I can have a look at it and get it all ready. I'm going to stop my screen share there for a minute. So, that's nearly set. Beautiful. So you can coat that and make some violet crumble bars. Really nice at Christmas time when you're doing gifts and things like that as well. They are some of the functions. The other functions I haven't shown you today is I haven't shown you how the sous vide works, but I can talk about it. And I haven't shown you, obviously, slow cook, because you don't want to stay with me for 8 hours. And sous vide goes up to 12 hours. So that's your cooking time. Now, obviously, you can use those functions and do other things as well. So keep that in mind too. When you do sous vide, you can sous vide in the basket, and it's a different basket to what you get with your other products. It's got a little lid set on it, and it's specifically got that lid for the sous vide function. You've got 2 choices to sous vide. You can sous vide in the basket, or you can sous vide in the entire bowl. To do the entire bowl, you need the blade cover, which is still on its way to me. So you can use the blade cover in your TM5 as well. So what that allows you to do is it allows all those delicate foods to be cooked in the bowl without touching the blade. And then you don't have that chopping. So if you've got prawns or gnocchi or pasta or fish or even a slow cooked dish where you don't want your meat to be broken up, all your sauces are all in there. It sits on top of the plate. Can't show it to you. Susie, do you have a blade cover in the house?
I do, Sam. Here it is.
Awesome. Well, let's flip over to you so you can show. You can show that. So let me just see where you are, and I'll spotlight you.
No worries.
Do you have a spare bowl to show how that goes?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so this is our new blade cover that is out of stock again, but Sam's actually going to put in an order to get one from Singapore at the moment, I think, or maybe she's not.
Yes,
Yeah, you are?
Yeah.
So I think they're about $38 or something.
Yeah.
I could have actually used it with this pork recipe because I have found that this pork does chop down a fair bit. So I'm using the pork for a sandwich, so it didn't bother me. But in future, if I wanted to have those nice big chunks, I would just stick that in. And it just attaches very similar to the butterfly, just tops. There's only one way it can go. So obviously the curve goes over the blades and it just clicks in and then sits on top of those blades like that. So the sauce can still get through. Now the rule of thumb with this, if you are going to free play, you just have it on reverse and no higher than speed 1. And you can cook, slow cook, whatever you like with that. And I've used it several times now and I'm loving it. So I like to cook a lot of chicken. Kids love chicken, so it doesn't break down the chicken as much. And same with those veggies. I can put more veggies in and they don't end up mush. So yeah, it's a really good little feature that I've been playing with. And even when recipes don't ask for it, I've been sticking it in. It is a bit hard to stick in the middle of a recipe if you don't have your own bowl, so you have to tip your ingredients out and then put the blade cover in and then put your ingredients back in, or if you're lucky enough to have the second jug, you just tip it all into the second jug like I do now. But yes, you can earn that. I missed out by 1 day, I reckon. 1 day. Was very devastated in my first 60 days to get that second bowl, but as a consultant, you do get a nice little discount, so I did buy one. It's a game changer and it does help. Yeah, okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Suze. I'll just
Welcome.
come back over here. So what I'm doing here is just mixing all the dressing that I did with the steak. I prefer to mix it in a bowl and then I'll just plate it up on my beautiful plate.
Lemon.
Sam,
Yes.
just out of the oven with the TM31
Yes.
and a very handy husband.
Yeah. Show us. Hang on. Yeah.
Can you see it?
No. Oh, hold it up a bit. Oh my God. Stop it. You two need to come back on as consultants. Come on. You can earn a TM6 with 4 sales. Just 4 sales. If you're thinking about buying one, you'd come into our beautiful team. But if you're thinking about, like, so if you just want to get your Thermomix TM6 and then get out again, like, you just tell me and I'll say, yeah, right, well, this is what you need to do that, and then don't do all the extra stuff, if that's what you want. But I'm sure you could get one for free. I'm telling you. How good is that? And by coming on to earn one, it would count as a sale for your recruiter, as you know. Yeah. So I'm just going to pop all this on. Just put my video down a little bit. Now, I mean, a beautiful mixed salad would be really nice, but I don't have that, so this is what's going on. And I don't have, and I thought the other day, so this is talking about the browning function. You don't get to do this with other, nearly going to have to ask my husband. This is the caramelized onion that I made in the TM6. I don't know if you can get it to be the same caramel in other machines, but we did put the onion into this recipe, but you know, it's nice to have a bit more of this. And that's, yeah. What else is on the menu today? So who's eating that sponge? That's a bit fancy for just 2 people, isn't it? Was it a sponge, Mon?
It was the lemon cake out of the 31 book.
Oh, was it?
Mm.
You know, you could teach us a lot. You just need to come and...
Mary made that, I didn't.
20 minutes.
Well, 20 minutes, that's ridiculous. I've got, that's a whole avocado. Gee, that spread a fair way, didn't it? Beautiful, and I'll just get some, I've got some peppers, but I don't have any fresh tomatoes, so I'm just going to use the peppers. Isn't it great having a few machines? Have you ever thought about coming back on, Mon? Not that you were, I mean, I know you weren't sort of signed up before, but maybe, or are you enjoying your retirement too much?
I think everyone I know has already got a machine.
Well, have they got a TM6? Have you asked them?
Probably not.
If you're looking at a TM6, would that mean someone else is? And they got daughters? Come on, that's don't sell yourself short. All right, how good does that look? Beautiful. I have to get a photo of that for later before anyone eats it. They all know in my house, photo before you touch it. And put that aside. And my honeycomb is still a little bit, it's still not cool, not completely cool, but oh, wait, that's a nice big slab, and it's soft. So if I press on that, I'm going to dent it, and I want it to go hard. So I'm just like cut that up. I'll just break a bit off to show you. There you go. Pretty good, huh? Great. Now you may not be making honeycomb because it's no good for your teeth. But how good is that? Like I did a pavlova, a honeycomb pavlova, and it was amazing. We've done a honeycomb slice. One of my first, tell you the guy, so I've been, his wife wanted a Thermomix for about a year. They're related to my sister through marriage. And anyway, he kept saying, no. Came to an online demo, saw it, came to another one, bought, and he's like, oh my God, okay, need one of these, got one. Then 6 weeks later, he rang me up and he said, I want to buy another one. Love it. So they've got a his and hers. How beautiful is that? Like, and he's loving it. And the first thing he made was honeycomb slice. Like, just amazing. So another, you just get so many beautiful stories. Another story was my 90-year-old lady. She's 90 in Ballina. So her daughter found me on Facebook and has been coming to the cooking classes and everything that I've been putting on, and all my private events. And her mum had a TM5 and upgraded, came to an online demo. Number one, that's awesome. And loved the TM6 so much she bought one and's given her TM5 to her granddaughter and loving it. And then we do these online cook-alongs. Like, that's just incredible. I'm just so moved by some of people's stories who get Thermomixes and what they do with them. And that's my wow story this year, that one.
Well, Sam,
Yeah.
Jane and I've probably got a better wow story than that.
Tell me what? Tell me.
Somebody came to one of our demos up around Deniliquin somewhere, and they had been given one by their mother-in-law. She bought 3 that day, one for a son who was a truck driver, single. I don't know how he was going to use it. One for her and one, I'm not sure who was the other one. And she had never ever opened it because the mother-in-law arrived with that big box. You know how big it is?
Yeah.
She thought, oh my God, I don't want that in my kitchen. So she'd never ever seen it working until she came to our demo. And then she went to get home and open the box and start using it.
Oh, that's...
She had it for about 12 months, hadn't she, Joan?
See, that's lovely when you pick up people that haven't, that you can help. Maybe they haven't received the help or something. So obviously people resonate with, different people.
The year before, Sam, she gave her a box of chocolates for Christmas.
I'd forgotten that part.
So she goes, oh, well, I don't want this big box.
I've had some riffers. I did one one demonstration, and it was a lady. It was when I was living in Sydney, and I went over to her place and we did the demo, and there was five family members there, and the host was always going to be buying. So she was in love with it. That yeah, sign me up. And then the husband took me for a tour around his car showroom, which was incredible. And when I got back, at this point, I'd done all the talking, and the only one that was buying was the host. I went to do the tour of the car showroom. I came back. The host had got 5 more orders. She's like, right, we're all getting one. I've told them they're all going to get one. So we cracked the champers that night, and we had a great night. It was great. And then I just gave it lots of gifts and things like that. As a thing, really nice. So yeah,
We had one that bought 2 on the night.
Really?
Yeah, one for the beach house and one for the home.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they're incredible appliances. That's why when Stu said to me, I want another one, I was like, well, yeah, why wouldn't you want another one? So, new catchphrase, how many do you want? Want 1 or 2 or more? And a chef, obviously, they're going to buy things in bulk. So they're amazing machines. So this is the thicker mode. And I'm just going to, now you can make your own coconut cream, and it's amazing. It's much better than store-bought. But, if you want to go to that problem, you go to that step. It's pretty easy. So this has made a coconut cream custard. And because it's vegan, you need to set it. So there we go. We've got a thicker custard, and that's going to go into my dish. I'll just show you what that recipe, what that looks like. And that's what it's going to look like. Oh, hang on, you can't see that, can you? Yeah, and I'm making that. So that's what it's going to look like. So the other thing I want to show you as well is when you're doing your recipe, say you want to skip a step, so I did, I skipped the base, and I went straight to the custard part. You just click on that step and it'll jump to that step too. So when you've got multiple recipes, you can do that. And obviously you've got your serving portions. And if you're weight conscious or you health conscious and you want to count your macros, they're all there listed too. So, oh look, it allowed me. So this is a recipe that was inspired by one of the American consultants. So it's great that we're all sharing globally. Have you seen the cookadoo and know what it can do as well? I'll just show you quickly. You've probably seen it before, many, many times. So there we go. If I want to put something in my shopping list, add it to my shopping list, for instance. Add it to there. The different, I showed you some of the other features on the machine. When I go into my week and I look at my shopping list, I'll delete what I don't want. And then if I'm happy with what I want to do, then I go show me the ingredients. If I've got it, take it out. If I don't have it, put it in. For instance, now it goes by categories. So when you're walking around the supermarket, it's already organised for you. It's great for a person like me. Love that. And if you want to look at it by recipes, it's all there too. And if you want to add extra features, you just add them in. So I've added dog food there. Then what you can do is you can share that with somebody by copying and pasting into an email or a message, or you can order direct online. So at the moment, that's pretty awesome. The fact that you can just go and pick up at Woolies. Just trying to, it's just delayed. My internet's a bit delayed. So then you go into here. If you want to swap that brand, you just click on swap. And it's actually, I find it easier than ordering directly from the website. So then choose which eggs you want. and add it into the cart. Now the dog food wasn't matched, so we click find product, and it'll give me all the choices for dog food, and I can add it in, view more. Once I'm happy with that, I just add it to my cart, and it'll log on to my Woolies account, and then away I go, and I go and order, click and collect. But pretty cool. Now if they don't have it, I can find an alternative, you know, and go from there. So it's very user friendly.
So Sam, what if your internet went down when you're halfway through something?
So in the machine, you can store the recipes. Because it has a 16 gigabyte memory, you can store the recipe so that you don't need the internet. So if I go into I'll show you with my other phone. Just let me do that. So on here, I've got recipes saved. So when I go camping, or we call it glamping with Thermomix, don't we? Or if I go away to someone's house or something, I've got recipes stored in my device. So my saved collections, I've got all of those cookbooks saved. So I don't need internet to access those. If I wanted to save my own created collections, I can do that too. And these are the names that I've called them. So I just add to them each time.
And what about if you're halfway through cooking a recipe and it goes down?
No, it won't matter. It doesn't matter. Mine, once you're in that recipe, you're in. It's okay. So it knows. But if you wanted to look at the library, you couldn't do that. If you could only look at your own personal library that you made.
Yeah.
So it is 16 gigabytes is pretty huge. The TM5 holds 5,000 recipes, so the TM6 would hold about 10. It's pretty huge memory, so you can store lots. And it doesn't matter if it goes down. That happens with me. My kids, they're into some games, and that draws lots of internet at once, to the point where it'll kick me off my computer or whatever, but never my Thermomix. So you shouldn't have to worry about that sort of thing either. Yeah, it's pretty good. Has Marianne got one? Has she got two or one?
I don't know.
So if you might talk to your person about test driving one. And because we're in lockdown and stuff, you can't physically. You probably, I don't know, depends who you talk to. I'm just going to click stop. Thank you for watching, everybody.